Hi friends, this is Dr. Abdequaem Chimthanawala. Today let us discuss one of the very infrequently used remedy, especially in related to skin complaints, that is Cicuta virosa. I know you must have learned Cicuta virosa for the convulsions problem and other conditions, but for skin complaints, I have found Cicuta virosa few symptoms very interesting and very important. Just because its symptom coincides with other remedies, that's why we do not think about Cicuta virosa and prescribe those remedies. The first symptom that comes to my mind in Cicuta virosa, पेशेंट आके बोलेगा कि बहुत खुजाता हूँ और स्किन पूरी कड़क हो जाती है. This is the lot of patients I have seen having the same complaint, that is the skin becomes thick after scratching. Remember this symptom will give you very important entry points of Cicuta virosa. Patient बोलता है after a lot of scratching my skin has become thick and you can actually feel that the skin has become thick. Skin पूरी कड़क हो जाती है. And it is not that it is only present in Cicuta virosa. There are other remedies also, like for instance graphitis is there, petroleum is there, antim crude is there. These remedies also have the same symptom. The skin becomes thick after scratching. More importantly, there are three remedies very important that are used in a daily practice for these complaints. The skin becomes thick after scratching. And the first remedy you should think about is rustox. Second remedy is lachesis. Third remedy is calibachrome. And the fourth remedy is iodum. Because these remedies have this symptom at a higher grade, that's why we fail to understand the importance of Cicuta virosa in this symptom. So remember, skin thick becomes after scratching. One of the other important symptom of Cicuta virosa skin is the skin is dry hot. Skin is dry hot. Now this is again a very important symptom which Cicuta virosa has. Skin is dry and hot, and if you have this symptom, do probe into Cicuta virosa. Normally in Cicuta virosa, eruptions are there on covered parts. Eruptions are there on the covered part. Of course, compare this with one of the very important remedies, as you all know, that is Thuja occidentalis. Again, compare this symptom with Ledampal, and a very rare remedy again for this symptom you have to compare with creosote. Yes, creosote also has this symptom, but the eruptions are present on the covered parts. Now, how the eruptions of Cicuta virosa has a crust formation, and whenever you see that crust, it is Cicuta virosa. How is the crust? The crust generally in the covered parts, and crust honey like. एक शहद के समान crust दिखता है. आप इमेजिन कि शहद कैसा रहता है. That is the crust of Cicuta virosa. Of course, again compare this with creosote. See how creosote comes close. Eruptions on covered parts with discharge or with crust honey-like is also creosote. As you go further, one more symptom of Cicuta virosa, eruptions crusty, colored, honey-like, and one symptom is sometimes eruption crusty and yellow. Very similar to that honey-like, but yellow. Again, this symptom is covered by creosote. Of course, a yellow crust, you have remedies like you have Cicuta virosa, and you can compare that with creosote, with petroleum, with antim crude, with calibachrome or Staphylococcus agria. But creosote and Cicuta virosa, see how close they are. That's why sometimes we forget about creosote and sometimes think of graphitis, sometimes things about antim crude or calibachrome or rustox or creosote, but we never think about Cicuta virosa. And now the discharge. You have seen the skin, it is dry hot, then the thickness of skin, then the crust formation, where are the crust, and the discharge now. So discharge, eruption, discharging, moist. Whenever the patient has itching, there is moist discharge after scratching. Now you can have lots of remedies for moist discharge after scratching. It could be again creosote, and the most important remedy, that discharge are moist and thick and glue-like, like graphitis, it is also there. Petroleum is there. So these are the remedies you have to compare that with Cicuta virosa. Of course, then carbovage also you can, carbovage also is there. But Cicuta virosa is also there. That is more important, what I want to tell you today. So these are the 4 or 5 symptoms, very important symptom of Cicuta virosa, and there are a lot of comparative remedies. That's why it is important to understand the comparative mathematics. So remember Cicuta virosa, the dry skin, the thickness of skin after scratching, the covered part eruptions, the crust formation, honey-like, discharges moist, and that makes the whole important symptom of Cicuta virosa skin. So my dear friends, if you like this video, do share and subscribe. Thank you.